whenever I think about getting a haircut by you or walking into the Prism shop, it all revolves around this question I'm about to ask you. How do you think about building a team and culture?
Personalities and team are more important to me than ability.
Yeah.
If you give me the time and the effort, you will be a better barber. But I can't teach you personality. I can't teach you to get up out of bed.
Yeah.
I can't teach you to be on time.
Personally, it goes way beyond a good haircut, right? From your perspective, when they think about Prism, what do you want them to feel or think about?
I want people to feel heard whenever
Yeah.
they come in. Say if you say to me at the start of a conversation, oh, I'm going to play football this week, and whenever you're leaving, I'll be like, oh, enjoy the football at the weekend. So it's all about making people feel heard.
Yeah.
And that's the most important thing for me.
Yeah. How do you as Michael want to be remembered beyond haircuts? Did you always wanted to cut hair?
I never ever wanted to cut hair. Never.
Where do you want Prism to be in 5 years' time? Have you ever thought about quitting?
So
Hi everyone, my name is Jared Wilson and this is the Up North podcast. We've got a very special guest today, Michael from Prism. Michael, really excited for today's chat. Thanks for being on the show today.
no problem. I'm glad to be here. It's the first time I've ever done this, so excuse me if I'm a bit slower trying to catch up right now.
Yeah, it's all good. Well, yeah, really excited for today's chat. Obviously know you quite a long time now. You've been cutting my hair. We obviously get into all of that in a minute, but the first question I want to kind of ask you, like, take away all the barbering, take away everything that you've done in life. What do you like as a kid?
So as a kid, I was just kind of into football, just everyday kind of normal kid, run around rampant. Played a lot of football, cricket. Wasn't really into hair, wasn't really into fashion, anything like that. So that was kind of it. It was just kind of a normal childhood. It wasn't really anything spectacular, anything really to rant and rave about, like.
Yeah, for sure. I know we've obviously like chatted a lot about like kind of your upbringing and things like that. Did you always wanted to cut hair, or did it kind of happen by accident, or how did you get into that?
So I never ever wanted to cut hair, ever. I worked in a factory from I was 16, and that was kind of it for me. My dad was a manager, everything was going well. Kind of worked myself up, and then one day just had enough.
Yeah. And was the factory your first job you've ever had?
That was the first job I ever had.
And the job after that?
The job after that was within the same factory group, so it was foil group, and I went into like the sales department then, so kind of worked my way up the levels through that way.
Right, okay. And then so from that then you went into barbering after that. Is that how the trajectory kind of went into?
So I've actually got the craziest career ladder, or whatever it goes up, down, it's like snakes and ladders.
Yeah.
If you want me to say, so I started at 16 in foil group, Donegal.
Yeah.
And then I stayed there, I was about 21, and then I went to Foil Oma,
Yeah.
did sales there, and got asked then to become a quality control champion. That's what they called it back then. Went and done that after the sales part. Hated that. Just closed my laptop one day, walked out, was like, nah, I'm done with this. I can't deal with it. Because it was just a case of just one person, just, you know, the corporate ladder, just one person shitting on another person, shitting on another person, shitting. That's all it was, and I absolutely hated it. And then I got a job for CFC Furnitures.
Yeah.
Was selling carpets there.
Right, okay.
It was good fun. And then moved up to Belfast for MRP, and that's whenever I had Braden.
Yeah.
Didn't work out because it was too much traveling up and down Belfast, especially with young kids and stuff. On my way down from Belfast, I got 2 job offers, so I just quit that one day too, and was just like, fuck this, I'm done with this here. Drove down from Belfast, had 2 jobs lined up before I got home again, and then was in Foil Campsite, which is another one of the Foil Fur groups, which is in Campsite, and then just sacked it one day and ran Corey.
Right, okay. Interesting. Well, I'm keen to kind of get into that conversation, but like, so I'm just trying to understand a little bit kind of like your upbringing, how you got into things and things like that. Who do you reckon your biggest influence was kind of like as you were growing up and kind of through that all?
Oh, my biggest influence was my dad. Always was, always will be.
Yeah.
He's the only person I know that there's never a problem. It's always a solution.
Yeah.
He can fix anything. Sure, if you look at the barber shop I have now, he's tiled the floors, he's put the TVs up, we've done the lights together, painted everything. He's a genius.
Yeah.
And he was my manager whenever I was 16, and everyone always spoke so highly about him.
Yeah.
So the way he speaks to people is probably what influenced me the way I speak to people.
Yeah.
Is because you're not just really dealing with a person on a piece of paper, really.
Yeah.
There's like a family behind it. There's a person. There's
like a story.
You have everything to deal with whenever you're talking to people, especially whenever you're managing them too.
Definitely.
So he'd be my biggest influence, 100%.
Interesting. Because like we've obviously chatted loads over the years, and I can kind of feel that where it's like you understand on situations, even if something for the likes we obviously cut my hair and stuff, and it's like if there's a day where I'm feeling down or whatever, and it's just like you just know how to handle that situation. So it comes from your dad. I always wanted to ask that question, but it was just kind of like naturally. Now you obviously said you reached out to Corey after the sales journey. Like how did that all start? Like just was how did that all start?
So, well, I'll take you back to the day I left. The day I left, there's a whole story leading up to why I left.
Yeah.
And it's because Braden was sick, which is my son.
Yeah.
He was sick and they wouldn't give me the time off work.
Right, okay.
And then he was in hospital for the full week. So I obviously just said, that's it. I'm just going to the hospital. You're not going to do nothing.
Yeah.
And I came back on a Monday and that kind of touches back on the way you speak to people. I went on the Monday and for the first 2 hours, no manager, no supervisor, nobody came over and said,
Yeah.
how's the wee man?
Oh, no.
So I walked over to a boy that lives in Australia now, Sam McDermott, and I said, look, I'm just going to walk out now.
Yeah.
I'm fed up with it. So I walked out. I rang the missus. Was all, do you mind if I walk out? And she was all, do whatever you want. I know you'll make it work anyway.
Yeah.
So I went up, resigned, drove out. My phone was going mad with the managers and supervisors in. They all wanted to know where I was and blah, 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 blah. But it was too late then. So I rang Corey that night and I asked Corey, I said, do you still have a spare chair? And he says, yep. And I was all, well, do you mind if I try it? And he goes, well, sure. If you want to try it, you try it. And that was it.
Yeah, interesting. So did you ever cut hair before that, like your mates or?
Oh, just messed about, but it was like just like every lad does, just messed about,
sure.
nothing real serious or nothing. After getting off the phone to Corey, I went and bought all stuff in.
Oh, really?
Spent a clean fortune on it. But everything was wrong anyway, so just rebought it all again,
for sure.
as you do.
Yeah, 100%. So if you take back now, you obviously said your dad's your biggest influence, and like when you rang your dad or your mom or family and you said, listen, I'm quitting my job here and I'm going to try barbering, something I have no idea about. What did they say?
Oh, well, they had no problem at all.
Yeah.
They know anything that I've ever stuck my head to. Anything that I've ever done, it's always been 100%. There's no he seen me walk out of jobs on Fridays and be employed on a better job by the Monday.
Yeah.
So it was never a question of whether it was going to work. It's just like, are you going to be happy doing it?
Yeah.
And I think that's the most important thing for me now is, am I going to be happy instead of anything else?
Yeah, for sure. So they had their full trust just in.
Oh, they have no question. They never ever question anything I've ever done. Obviously, they try and push you in the right direction or give you a bit of advice and stuff, but
which is only normal in any sense, like no, 100%. Okay, so you ran Corey. You said there's a chair. You bought a couple of stuff, and you obviously played around with cutting a few mates' hair and stuff. Who trained you actually to cut a fade or
it
how
was
did that
all
all
Corey.
work?
It was all Corey at the start.
Yeah.
Corey is the best person to be around.
Yeah.
He is funny. He's great crack. He makes everyone feel like, see if you start barbering tomorrow, he'd make you feel like you're the best barber in the world.
Yeah.
He teaches you really, really easy, simple stuff. And that's what you can build your foundation on then as a barber.
Okay. And now that say he taught you a little bit and you got into it, when did you realize, okay, this is what I'm doing here, and
I'm very big, obviously from my sales background, I'm very big on facts, numbers, percentages, client retention, all that crack. And that's what I kind of do with the boys in the shop now. So I did a calculation of how many haircuts I had to do a month to make the money that I was making in my previous job. And once I did that, that's when I knew, right, this could be something better.
Yeah. Interesting. So you obviously realized all of that. And how many years did you spend at Corey? Or
Corey
it was
just two and a bit.
Right, okay. So 2.5 years, that's obviously when I first started getting haircut by you. So 2.5 years, you obviously built a decent client base, and then you decided to move to Carlisle Road and start your own venture. Why Prism? Why did that all come to mind?
I always wanted to own a business. Obviously, I never thought it was going to be hair. But I was taught that much from Corey, and all my sales background and everything was kind of just felt like it was coming together at the right time.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to have my own stamp or my own thing where I could do something, bring the boys in and give them the freedom to do what they want as well.
Yeah.
And kind of nurture the people around me and have like a space where it's just kind of around the things that I want to do.
Yeah. No, 100%. And was there any because that must have been scary, right? Like you just had to kind of pay for a chair,
Mm.
and now you're gonna go pay for rent. You got to pay for insurance. You got to pay for this. Was that not scary at all?
It was. If you look back on my earlier videos or the first couple of videos out of the shop, you'll be able to see that I weigh about 2 stone underweight,
Yeah,
and I'm white, I'm pale, I'm
yeah,
sick. And it was one of the first times after opening the shop, after about 2.5 weeks, I had to take a couple of days off
yeah,
because I was just that mentally drained from it.
yeah, 100%. Because what you had to do, you had to do panel boards, you had to do painting, you had
Did
to do
everything.
tiles, everything like.
We done everything ourselves. So I was still doing 50 hours or 45 hours a week over there.
Yeah,
And when I was finishing there, I was going over to the shop to do stuff
yeah,
because people don't realize that shop was turned around within a month. And there was nothing in it. There was purple walls. There
yeah.
was floorboards lying everywhere. It was a
I know,
mess.
it's crazy. What do you reckon the scariest part was out of that whole process?
The scariest part. Well, if we start, the scariest part was probably telling Corey, to be honest with you. So once I knew I was kind of going to go for it, before I even told anybody, before I
Yeah,
told Braden, before I told my parents, the only other person I knew was Jamie Lee. And I just rang Corey one day. I was all, "Hey, you in the house?" He was, "Yep." I was all, "Look, I'm going to call for 5 minutes to chat to you."
yeah,
As soon as I got it out of my mouth, that's why I remembered he was my best friend,
yeah,
because he made me feel at ease so
yeah,
quickly. He was all, "It's not," because I was all, "Look, it's a difficult conversation." As soon as I said,
yeah.
"I'm going to open my own shop," he was all, "It's not that difficult of a conversation." Yeah, he was all like, "I knew it was going to happen
Yeah,
eventually and stuff." And
I know. I actually remember that moment, and I was like, because you were cutting my hair at the time, and I was like, I asked how did Corey take it and stuff, and just his full support and his best mate, like trying to do the same thing that
yeah.
he's doing. You guys can kind of share the success, right? Like I love that, and like. How much did you really have at the start? If it was from a perspective of, I mean, 2.5 years starting out your barbering job, money, skills, 2.5 years, confidence. Now you're gonna go run your own barber shop in the middle of the town. Like,
So at the time, um, I had a bit of money,
yeah,
not a pile. I was doing all right. Wasn't life changing amounts of money. Went into barbering. Obviously, there's no guaranteed income.
yeah,
I think in January. So I started on December 11th, 2021,
yeah.
and then I went on the books in January. January, I think I'd done 30 haircuts
Right.
the
Okay.
whole of January.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a substantial amount of money whatsoever.
Yeah.
But the first couple of months, the first 6 months, it was about 6 months before I actually started making real money.
Yeah.
But my idea was, the more eyes I can get on me,
Yeah.
even if, like, most people can kind of tell what a good haircut is. Most people don't know.
Yeah.
But it was just about having eyes on me. I didn't really care if it was good or whether someone thought
Yeah.
it was good. It was just about making content. So the first 6 months didn't go well. Any new venture just goes all right.
Yeah.
And I kind of ran my money down to about £1,500, and that was where I was.
Yeah.
And then it just started just going
Yeah.
the other way.
And what about the confidence side of things? I mean, you had to jump in something here and try sell more seats because before you even make a pound, you've got to spend what, like, I don't know what your rent and things cost, but you've got obviously a bill before day one.
Yeah.
So what about the confidence and to kind of
Well,
get through that?
to be fair, Corey gave me a bit of leeway on the rent at the start
Yeah.
with a share. Said, "Look, you can have a few weeks, couple months even.
Yeah.
Get yourself built up, and then once you start making money, we'll all start making money."
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. So you obviously went through this whole journey now, and how many years you in Prism, your own shop
We're
now?
in prison 2 years on the 5th of April. I got the keys on the 5th of March.
Yeah.
So 2 years on the 5th of April is when we opened the door.
Oh, interesting. And what mistakes did you make early on that you'd never repeat now?
Probably just put too much pressure on myself.
Yeah.
If I could go back and do it again, I would have ripped the floor up first of all.
Yeah.
I would have done that from the start, because what I did at the start was I laid a laminate floor in, do you
Yeah.
remember?
I remember that.
That was just like, get me in the door
Yeah.
ASAP, just because I didn't want having to pay rent in two shops.
Yeah.
So I would probably just take my time a bit more
Right. Okay.
and stop putting so much pressure on myself.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. Now you mentioned that it took about 6 months to like start making a bit of money and stuff. Was that when you realized and started to feel like this might actually work? This is for me.
Yeah, I was in around that time. Things were starting to come together. I was starting to get more interested in online education. I went and seen a boy in Bare Knuckle called Paddy Corrigan.
Okay.
He owns, I think, two shops or maybe one shop in Dublin called
Yeah.
Area 9, and Paddy's brilliant.
Yeah.
Paddy was like the first insight into, like, oh, this guy knows exactly what he's doing. After I seen him, I really started getting into, like, working with lines of hair, shapes,
Yeah.
all that sort of stuff, instead of just the traditional short back and sides, and like
Yeah,
just
for
sort of
sure.
try and figure it out. Like,
Definitely. Like even if I look on your social media, there's like it's not just a fade, right? There's loads of different hairstyles, and like I can obviously see. I mean, I was probably one of what your first couple of clients, I would
that's whenever
say.
you walked in.
And then
You
literally,
could walk in and get me.
I know, I like because that's what I was saying earlier. It was like I used to be able to message you on Instagram and say, "Can I have a haircut tomorrow?" And now it's this perspective of waiting like 6, 7 weeks. That's crazy. Like, do you feel happy about that or stressful?
From the kind of perspective of being as booked out as I am, or even during the summer, it is a kind of bittersweet because it's class being booked out as much as I am, but it makes a lot of effort for me to make a lot of time for the people that help me build up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So whenever people that have been with me for like day one and stuff, like yourself, or boys that have always just trusted in me and just went to me, and if they couldn't get me, they'd have waited for me.
Yeah.
I always kind of feel obligated that I have to make effort for them, especially.
Yeah.
So whenever there's no room, you have to accommodate, move things around. So it's kind of like, it's not just, oh, you're fully booked and it's grand, because it's never that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're fully booked, but I want a haircut tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then you have to kind of just try and figure it out for the guys. Like,
Yeah, no, fair enough. But I mean, like, you can't take all that responsibility. I mean, for us now, we understand. And like, I'll speak on behalf of everyone getting a haircut by you. We can't just expect that now these days. Like, you've obviously built a really good brand and you obviously make us look really good, you know? So it's like, we can't do that anymore. Like, that was a luxury back then.
yeah.
So it's like, it's on us now to book in advance and show up on time and things like that. Obviously, like, I appreciate and respect in times where it's like if something goes wrong, you can cancel. Like that's
Yeah.
life, right? Life gets in the way. But it's like we need to also take responsibility of getting booked in. And that's like fair play to you to kind of get to that, you know.
But my girlfriend, she's hair extensions as well.
Yeah.
So, and she's getting more and more booked out too. She's really, really good at what she does.
Yeah.
And there's times where at night time we've just got in, we've got dinner sorted,
Yeah.
and the kids are asleep, and like she's like, right, give me 5 minutes on the day, sort this out, and then she's got to go through her diary, so I was like, right,
Yeah.
give me 10 minutes to sort this out, I need to go through mine. So it's kind of like, it just kind of runs through our house,
Yeah.
trying to get people on, and like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's just normal for us, like.
So it's kind of like motivating each other. Like, oh,
Yeah.
how many clients do you have today?
Oh.
Like a little like healthy competitiveness
Well-
in a way, or
Well, I'll always have more clients.
yeah,
That's just because of the nature of the business.
yeah,
But hers is, I would say hers is more scalable
Yeah.
than mine. So she could scale her business to maybe 2 or 3 times of what I could,
yeah,
because of the nature and the revenue you can bring in from
Yeah.
hair extensions.
yeah,
Whereas you can only scale hair,
yeah,
or like gentlemen's hair, to like kind of the market value,
yeah, for sure.
because hair to men is important, but
Yeah.
it's not as important as hair to women.
Yeah,
So it's not as scalable as like the likes of
Yeah.
hairdressers and hair extensions are.
but is that also because of time? I mean, you cut my hair and my beard in what 35 minutes or so. Like to do hair extensions will probably take what 2-3 hours. Or
probably.
longer.
It probably is to do with time as well too. Like, but
Yeah,
I think because I've seen some people go into her and get their hair cut and get their hair extensions done. It's like £900,
that's mad.
£800 for that there, which is mental.
Yeah,
But most of it's obviously the hair,
yeah,
and depending on the volume and the rows they get and the color and stuff like that there.
Yeah,
But
of course.
it's just like it's so much easier scalable than a barber shop,
Yeah, no,
in
fair
my
enough.
opinion.
So what do you reckon people massively underestimate about running a barbershop?
So we run a very, very strict schedule, and the guys know that. Is like, I always say, early's on time, on time's late, late's unacceptable. If people run 2 or 3 minutes behind, that's grand, we can cope with that there, whatever. And we understand buses and bad traffic, but most people have to book in advance for our barbershop.
Yeah.
Whether it's Kyle, Lewis, me, David, it's all booked in advance. So you know that day. It's like today, whenever I was coming in here, you said 10 to 10.
Yeah.
I was there at 10 to 10.
Yeah, for
Well, I was
sure.
actually there a wee bit earlier, just standard across then. But like, if you know you've got something that day, it's booked appointment, it's be there on time.
Yeah, for sure. Because we've also got to respect the time, right? We got to be there on time as well. And so that kind of flows through, right?
And I think whenever people don't realize that that's the way it's run, then they can get upset with us because
Yeah.
we've said, look, we can't cut your hair now because we need the time to cut
Yeah.
your hair.
Yeah.
And if we cut corners cutting your hair, then you're going to be mad at us.
Yeah,
But we can't be late for our next person that's
Yeah.
behind you,
definitely.
because early's on time, on time's late, etc., etc. So it's like the whole kind of running of the shop.
Yeah, because then it's just like 10 minutes,
It's just
10 minutes, 10
it's
minutes.
it's just a domino effect, can ruin your whole day. I'd rather just not make the money like than ruin the rest of the day, because
Yeah.
it's not like it's more important for me, for my clients, for that I'm on time for them.
100%. I know.
It's more like keeping my sort of self-respect for my time and their time, because then
Yeah.
they know if they come in 5 minutes early, I'm waiting there for them. I'll
Yeah.
take that. I'll take
Yeah.
them straight away. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely. No, 100%. I love that.
Hi there. Sorry to interrupt the episode. I just want to give a massive thanks once again to the app who sponsored this episode. They're a business incubator for startups and big companies. So if you have any questions, then reach out directly to them. But now let's get back to the episode.
Now, I've been itching to get at this question because whenever I think about getting a haircut by you or walking into the Prism shop, it all revolves around this question I'm about to ask you. How do you think about building a team and culture?
So personalities and team are more important to me than ability.
Yeah.
Always have been, always will be. I love working with people.
Yeah.
I can teach someone how to cut hair better. That's if you give me the time and the effort, you will be a better barber. But I can't teach you personality. I can't teach you to get up out of bed.
Yeah.
I can't teach you to be on time.
Yeah.
So whenever people, like, for instance, do an apprenticeship under me, it's if I start at 5:30, so does the apprentice,
Yeah.
because I need to know that you can be on time.
Yeah.
So it's them wee things that are more important to me than your ability to cut hair, because you will always get better at cutting hair.
Yeah.
If you work alongside people that are driven and have the ability to teach you,
Yeah.
you will get better at cutting hair.
Yeah.
But personalities are more important to me than,
Yeah.
and that's the
100%.
whole kind of team culture thing.
Yeah, definitely. Because like I've been thinking about kind of this conversation for a while, and I don't know how to put it into words, but I feel like me staying with you for 4 years, right? 4 or 5 years goes way beyond just a good haircut, right?
Mhm.
It's like, especially now, you being in Prism, your own barbershop for 2 years, I feel like when I walk through that door, like you've got Carl saying, yes, what's happening? You've got Lewis saying what's happening. You've got all your team saying, like, just the energy that you feel like into that room. And like when you're cutting my hair, you're laughing at this joke, you're laughing at that joke and things like that. Like, as you say, you can teach someone to cut good hair, but you can't bring crack. Do you know what I mean?
You
And
can't.
I feel like that's really good at kind of what you've done, do you know?
I think that was, so whenever I was kind of, the first thing whenever I got Prism going was I wanted it to look a certain way.
Yeah.
So the first thing whenever you walk in a barber shop, it's sight, smell, and hear. So if there's any like derogative music on, if there's a mother and child, then that goes off straight away.
Yeah.
We don't mind rap. We don't mind rapping. It's just the
Yeah.
boys or whatever. But so it's sight, smell, and what you hear as well.
Yeah.
Whenever we first started the shop, I wanted Lewis.
Yeah.
Obviously, you have to go around at direct. You have to go around at direct channels. You can't just be like, because he was working at a barber shop at the time. You can't just be like, here, do you want to
Yeah.
come work here? So kind of put it up. We kind of got talking. He was like, oh, I think I should come. And I was like, right. I love Lewis because Lewis has been with me from when he was 15.
Yeah.
He's 18 now. And Lewis
From
is,
day one, right?
so he left school at 15.
Yeah.
And I used to cut his dad's hair. Obviously, his dad gets his hair cut by him now. I used to cut his dad's hair, Paul. And Paul used to be all to me all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. And I was all, look, bring him into me.
Uh.
So we brought him into me anyway. And he's the hardest working teenager I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
And that was the reason kind of that I wanted Lewis at the start.
Yeah.
Is because the content, he
Yeah.
was, whenever he went to the oil shop, he was copying my content. So I
Yeah.
know he knew how to make content. He
Yeah.
just needed his own
Yeah.
kind of ideas and stuff. And now he's just absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Then that brings me to Kyle.
Yeah.
Kyle kind of stumbled across me at like 5:30 in the morning. He was coming back from holidays, and I put up a, I do sometimes that I'm in the barber shop at like
Yeah.
5:30.
Yeah.
And he was all, geez, do you ever stop? And I replied him saying, money never sleeps.
Yeah.
And then that we just had a conversation. And whenever I was speaking to Kyle about the kind of culture of the shop, that's what it kind of leads me back to, just in case
Yeah.
you're wondering. I kind of wanted to be more American style, where like I know your clients' names, your clients know
Yeah.
my name.
Yeah.
They're not just coming in to get the haircut by you, they're coming in to talk to their
Yeah.
friends as well.
Mm.
Well, respectfully friends. And that's kind of like everyone gets involved with each other's crack.
Yeah.
Everyone knows each other's names. You see each other out in the town.
Yeah.
Some of my clients go out in the town and go out with David and stuff
Yeah.
too, like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's that kind of like, I would say it's almost easier to build like a culture in a shop whenever it's like a smaller village,
Yeah.
because everyone kind of knows each other anyway.
Yeah.
So being able to do that in the city centre,
Yeah.
that's what it was kind of all about.
Yeah, 100%. Because like it makes so much sense. It's like you could be cutting my hair and like chatting to someone that Carl's cutting hair, or Lewis or David as well. So Like, it makes perfect sense. Like, you're not just coming in. I'm not just coming in to you. I'm coming in with the team, right? Like, it's like, I've got to accept them. I've got to accept everyone. And that's kind of a culture that you brought. I love. Now, you obviously said earlier that one of the hardest decisions or things that you had to do was tell Corey. But let's take that away. What's been the hardest decision you've had to make as a business owner?
I think it's the same as everyone. I think it's letting people go.
Yeah.
Especially letting people go that are good for the business,
Yeah.
but don't fit the ethics.
Yeah.
So whenever I talk about ethics, I mean like turn up on time, work, prioritizing things like that. So definitely having them difficult conversations is the hardest part about having a business.
Interesting. So,
especially whenever, sorry,
no, go.
but especially whenever they were like tailor made almost for.
Yeah.
Do you mean they came in, didn't need really much teaching, good crack, loved all the boys, but then just personal life kind of gets in the way, and then don't come in, and then you're left in having to talk to his clients, but oh look, he's not on today. I just haven't got time for that at all. So one too many times, and then you're out. Like.
No, 100%. So you've obviously, you're at a stage now where you're the busiest you've ever been, right? You've got obviously the most amount of clients you've ever had. You're working 4-day weeks, what, 10, 12-hour days?
Well, it's more like 13-hour days.
So 13-hour days, right? How do you stay motivated when things, well, just in general, how do you stay motivated when things are that busy? Like every day, wake up.
That's actually a really good question. And I think it's the people around me motivate me.
Yeah.
You can't really be unmotivated whenever you work with the 3 clowns I work with.
Yeah.
Because Lewis is just, he's motivated to do just constant churn. Kyle wants to learn all the time. David wants to learn.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of be motivated for them as well.
Yeah.
And whenever you kind of preach the way I preach about things, you can't go on unmotivated, you know what I mean? So,
but I mean, what time does the alarm set every day that you work in? 6
minimum.
And you just wake up, you're ready to go every morning.
So I went out on Saturday night, I was telling you.
Yeah.
And we didn't get into like 1 o'clock. I woke up at 6:30.
On Sunday? Naturally, or just
naturally, body clock just.
So that's just
habit now. It's just churned on the way now. Like.
Yeah. So now we'll kind of get onto the next question. Is like, what habits or routines have helped you level up personality wise?
I think home life.
Yeah.
Having a good structure at home. Having Jamie Lee.
Yeah.
Jamie Lee's she's very structured at home. So having a very good home structure definitely helps me build good habits within the business as well.
Yeah. Because that, like, we've chatted today. I mean, it's like, you obviously have a business, you got to cut good hair, but the things that we talk about mainly is you got to be on time, you got to be a good person, you got to treat people with respect.
Yeah.
And respect being just be on time and things like that. So yeah, I love that. Now, things have gone well, right? 2 years in Corey's, 2 years in your own shop, and things are going well. Have you ever thought about quitting?
So whenever I first opened Prism, I hated the first like 3 weeks. I hated the smell. I hated the way it looked. I hated that it was only me and Lewis, but I knew it was kind of building.
Yeah.
And I hated every day. And I remember cutting hair. Can't remember whose hair it was cutting. It was about 2 weeks on it. And this is whenever I was sick. Remember I told you I had to take a few days off.
Yeah.
I was just like, this is just, how am I going to go home, sit down, look her in the eye and tell her that I've spent a clean fortune in here and I want to go back working with Corey.
Yeah.
Because at the time, leaving Corey and Macaulay was one of the hardest things I ever had to do. Because they were just like 2 best friends for me.
Yeah.
And you're just going into work with your best friends all the time. And then it's going into work with a 17-year-old at the time that I knew was going to be great.
Yeah.
But wasn't there yet. He was actually 16.
Yeah.
And it was just me that was busy. So if you look at some of the videos back then, you'll see Lewis just sitting on the chair, just watching me cut hair.
Yeah.
And then that's when I almost quit.
Interesting. Okay. Now, what's been the biggest sacrifice you've had to make?
Time.
Kind of time.
Time. I think that's everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone's kind of time at home, time with children.
Yeah.
Public holidays, don't get them.
Because that's waking up 6 o'clock, kids are still sleeping, you're on your way, working 13-hour days, getting home, sleeping maybe, or just about to go to sleep. You've missed kind of 4 days.
The youngest will definitely be asleep, and then Brayden will probably fight his way to stay up to, you can see me, so.
Yeah. I'm keen to kind of get into that whole family thing, but we'll obviously get to that in a minute. How do you handle pressure, stress, or self-doubt? I mean, we've obviously said you've got bills to pay before you even cut one haircut. You've got 3 other chairs that depend on you and things like that. How do you deal with all of that stress?
I never really had any self-doubt.
Yeah.
because I had so many people clapping for me,
Yeah.
essentially. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if I ever did say something, Jamie Lee would just be all, wise up.
Yeah.
Like, you're you just do you, you'll be grand.
Yeah.
She knows what I'm like. She knows how vigorous I am, how much attention to detail. So there was never really any self-doubt.
Yeah. Okay. Now, yeah. So, well, that's really good, and obviously, like you're dealing with stress and things on your own and things like that, which is really cool. Has there ever been a lesson that you've learned the hard way that you would warn others about, or?
Um, not everyone, not everyone thinks as highly as you do of yourself.
Okay. That's
So
actually, I like that.
so obviously we all live in our own wee bubbles.
Yeah.
I think I'm this. I think I'm that. I'm a good barber. I'm a good dad.
Yeah.
I'm like this here. People just see you as this.
Yeah. No one
Just
really cares,
no
right?
one really cares. So just do yourself. Anyway,
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter.
So it's kind of like from a perspective of you don't have to prove anything to anyone.
No.
Just prove yourself right and your family, right?
As long as you're doing right by yourself, which I always feel like I am,
Yeah.
and the people that close with, family, then nothing else really matters to me.
Yeah. No, I love that. I love that. Now, what does success actually look like for you now? I mean, coming into 5 years as a barber, you've got your own barber shop. What does success look for you now?
A quiet life.
Yeah.
A quiet life. Just currently, success is a happy home, a good business, and all my ducks in a row, essentially.
Just nice and easy.
Just nice and easy at the moment. I have a few personal goals I want to achieve. You obviously know them.
Yeah.
This year, and then accelerate then after next year.
Love that. Love that. So if you've obviously nearing into 5 years as a barber, where do you want Prism to be in 5 years' time?
I think right now we're just, and I hate to say it, kind of just cruising along.
Yeah.
We're just in fifth gear. We're just cruising along.
Yeah.
Once I get my own personal goals, which I shouldn't really let affect the business.
Yeah.
But because they're so big, once they're done this year, we'll be moving into like education.
Yeah.
More content, potentially expanding.
Yeah.
That's where I kind of see it in the next 5 years.
Yeah,
That's
I love
kinda-
that. So if there was any young lads watching this that might want to get into barbering or own their shop eventually one day, would there be any advice that you would give them?
Don't do it. No, just go for it. Doesn't matter what people say around you. People
Yeah.
are always going to have something to say anyway.
Yeah.
So whether they like it or not, just go for it if you can.
Yeah, 100%. Now, what if it was your younger self watching? Would you say anything to him?
There'd be no point saying anything to him because he wouldn't have listened anyway. My younger self was a complete.
Yeah.
I'm more calm now and decision driven and facts driven, but back then I was more just like if I work hard,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter about anything else. But that's not the case. It's about
Yeah.
working. Obviously, the older you get, the smarter you work.
Yeah, 100%. So I'm going to kind of answer this from my perspective, but I want to get your opinion. If someone thinks of Prism, for me personally, it goes way beyond a good haircut, right? I feel welcomed, I feel happy when I walk in and obviously get a good haircut. That's obviously right. But if from your perspective, when they think about Prism, what do you want them to feel or think about?
I think the first thing that springs to my mind is I want people to feel heard whenever
Yeah.
they come in. So doesn't matter kind of what happened before you come out that door.
Yeah.
Whenever you come in, it's like, yes, Dad, what's the crack?
Yeah.
How are you getting on today? And one thing I always kind of make sure with the boys is whenever you hear something about someone, the next time you see them, make sure you bring it up.
Yeah.
So that they're kind of feeling like they're heard. Or
Yeah.
say if you say to me at the start of a conversation, oh, I'm going to play football this week, and whenever you're leaving, I'll be like, oh, enjoy the football at the weekend. So it's all about making people feel heard.
Yeah.
And that's the most important thing for me. I
Yeah,
think.
I love that. Just like, and that's the thing. It's like you got to spend, let's just put a number to it, 45 minutes in a chair, right? I want to have a conversation. If there was no conversation or just the crack wasn't great, like that's going to be a long 45 minutes. But it's like next thing you know it, oh, there it goes, because we're having a good conversation, right? And I do feel like you kind of bring that energy. Otherwise, I wouldn't be getting my haircut by you.
Well, I get that. But there is some people that come and just don't speak as well,
Yeah,
which is fine. That's
Yeah.
grand. It's their time. If they want to get a haircut and not talk, that's
Yeah.
grand. I'll try.
yeah,
So I always kind of have a 3-question rule.
Yeah.
Ask kind of like 3 questions, see what they're kind of at, get a feeler. If they're not really chatting to me, that's grand. It's their time.
Yeah.
I'm not going to bombard them with questions and keep
Yeah.
putting it down because he could just be having a bad day or
Yeah, for sure.
whatever. And then I'll just move on to one of the other guys that's either sitting in the chair that I know, what's sitting down waiting, or
Yeah.
I'll pick on David.
And what are the 3 questions?
It's just like, what's the crack? First of
Mhm.
all, do you anything this weekend? Do you watch the football?
Yeah.
Or like if it's someone for the first time, where'd you hear about Prism? How come you decided to come here?
Yeah.
And just kind of get a feel for that. And then if they kind of give you one word answers or something like
Yeah.
that, and then the Hail Mary end is like, do you watch football? And then if they go no,
Yeah.
they're like,
Yeah, for sure.
sweet, we'll just move on.
Yeah, no, 100%. Now, we've obviously spoken about how Prism wants to be talked about and things like that. But how do you, as Michael, want to be remembered beyond haircuts?
As a good father, mainly. Well, only really, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. Apart from the business, that's all I want. I don't really care about being the best friend because I don't really have that many friends anyway. I can probably count on my hand the amount of people I even like.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Personally, not
Yeah.
to do with business. I just think that as long as people remember me as that and that I gave everything as a father and then as my business as well, I think that's the most important thing for me.
Yeah. And I love that. And that kind of gets us into the next lot of questions is how did becoming a father change how you see work and success?
So people chat about children being expensive. Yes,
Yeah.
they are expensive. You know that. I
Yeah.
know that. But having children makes you more motivated
Yeah.
to make money and provide a better life for them than you ever would have. So whenever you're single and you don't have children, you can kind of just skate by on, you know,
Yeah.
X, Y, and Z. You don't really see yourself building something to make more money.
Yeah.
So I think they've made me obviously more driven in my business life to provide a better life for them.
Yeah.
And
It's funny you say that because I was thinking of this the other day, right? And we can even use you as an example. You had Braden 1 year before you started barbering, right?
no, I had Braden in 2018. I started barbering in 2021.
Oh, 2021. Okay, so but then even now you going from kind of your whole scaling of Prism of just having another child. It's like I saw a quote the other day where it was like, "Don't have children when you like trying to start a business," and that's like completely wrong. Like,
Completely wrong.
like they are the ones that motivate you every day to go out and achieve your goals and work harder. Otherwise, like, what really is your motivating factor? Obviously, to prove yourself right, but for me now, growing the businesses that I'm involved in, and I'm sure the same for you, it's because of them, right?
Yeah.
And it's like that's exactly why we do. What do you reckon?
I feel like once you have children, you owe it to them
Yeah.
because I'm never going to, if I'm 60 years of age and Braden comes to me and goes, "What were your dreams?"
Yeah.
And I'd be all, I didn't go after them, didn't chase them. Like that's just,
Yeah.
it's not great. Or even as a grandfather.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But, you know, whenever I'm 60 and Braden takes over the shop or shops
Yeah.
and they be all, "What were your dreams?" And I was all, well, he's
Yeah.
living my dream now. Like,
Yeah, for sure. So he can either ask you those questions, but realistically, he's watching you achieve them.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know if your kids are the same, but my kids don't listen, they watch,
Yeah.
right? And it's like they watch you the routines that you're in, they watch the habits, and like fingers crossed they follow them, right?
Yeah.
So what shifted in your priorities the moment you had kids?
I think I was kind of a madman growing up.
Yeah.
Not really growing up as a child, but from about 19 until I was about 23, just before I had Braden.
Yeah.
So obviously drinking, partying,
Yeah.
all the good stuff that follows with that as well.
Yeah.
So once I had Braden, that was just like bang, gone,
Yeah, for sure.
gone completely.
So priorities have obviously changed a little bit. What about the way that you work? So like we've obviously chatted a few times, boys being like, all right, I'm just gonna cancel today, or can I come in a day that you're not working? Or you obviously used to work 5 days, now you're working 4. Was there ever a point where you realized I just can't work like I used to anymore?
Never, never. If anything, I'm more motivated now than
Yeah.
I ever was. Just before Christmas, 9 days in a row, I think something like 140 something hours
Yeah.
back to back over them 9 days.
Yeah.
So more motivated than ever.
Yeah.
Can work more than ever. Like I never wake up thinking, geez, I've got to go into the barber shop.
Yeah.
You know, when I wake up thinking, I get to go into the barber shop
Yeah.
today. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So that's almost like not taking anything for granted in essence.
That's one thing I speak about in the shop, and a lot of people will hear me speak about it. To Kyle and stuff too, or like to any of the boys. like I just had to pay my tax bill.
Yeah.
It was a big tax bill too. So it's like you can either be raging about it
Yeah.
or be thankful that you're in a position that you get to pay it.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
I always said, for Kyle, example, car was broke, right? Well, be happy you get to fix a car because there's boys that have bikes that can't have cars. Same old story.
Love that. Love that. Now, what do you reckon your kids can give you that business never could?
Well, unconditional love.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what I say or do. I'm going to walk in that door and they're going to welcome me with open arms.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Doesn't matter how bad of a day you had or what
Yeah.
went on. You know yourself that you go in and they smile and all they want to do is play with their daddy because you're not barber Michael, you're not business Michael, or business George, you're just daddy's home and that's it.
Yeah, no, I love that. Love that. I even myself, it's like you could have a bad day and you kind of open those doors and everything's just taken away from you, right? Now, has being a father made you a better or worse business owner?
Better. I think they teach me a lot of patience. They teach you a lot of things, even speaking to them, because you have to speak with them more softly.
Yeah.
I always chatted about how I speak to people and stuff, but because they're so emotion driven at that age too, anything can kind of turn them. So you have to be very gentle the way you speak to them, or be very cautious in how you speak to them. So, and like, don't get me wrong, I'm no perfect saint. Sometimes we're like every parent, we snap, we lose. Come on, just keep quiet for 5 minutes. You know what I mean? We've all done it. But I think I think they've taught me so many things about business that I don't even realize until you're actually speaking to someone or you're talking to someone or you're dealing with people. But like dealing with children, that like I would have probably never been able to deal with children as well as I do unless I know like how to do with my wee mans, you know what I mean?
No, 100%. The very first question in today's conversation kind of goes off your dad, right? Is like there's a story behind everything, and it's like people might walk into Prism and just say, right, I need a haircut today. But this whole conversation has actually been driven about family, respect, manners, and just being a good all-round person, right? And I think that's kind of the value that you bring, which is great.
Thank you.
So yeah, I think that's a good way to finish off. So Michael, thank you so much for coming on the show today. Really appreciate it. That was a great conversation, and yeah, wish you all the best.
Thank you very much, Jared.
Cool.